You're live.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Meet on Mondays. We're back. I hope everybody enjoyed our sausage edition. We had a sausage edition a couple weeks ago, and we decided to, based on y'all's interaction, go with a bacon edition. So first things first, my name is Ahrens. I am the State 4-H Livestock Specialist here at LSU, currently home officing. And one of the best things that y'all can do for us during this live is be super interactive, ask a lot of questions, and also share this video. So I'm going to give you about 30 seconds right now that I want you to click the share button on this video and share it to your page, to any groups that may be interested, any pages you manage. And let's get a lot of views that we can get a lot of interaction. So any shares that you can do for this, that would be wonderful. So I'm going to give you a few minutes. And while you're sharing, or if you don't want to share, we're going to pull up the screen that has, and also share this video. We're going to pull up a picture that has different parts of the pig on it. And I want y'all to tell me in the comments where you think bacon comes from on a pig. Just type the number in and tell us where bacon comes from on the pig. Click the share button. And where does bacon come from? I don't know about y'all, but it is rainy in Baton Rouge today. Okay. Let me get everything open so I can see everyone. Brian says 4. Any other guesses? Okay, we got some smart people. Y'all know where your bacon comes from. So yes, bacon comes from that number 4 location on the pig. And if we look a little bit further into what bacon is, we'll see that there's a lot of different types of bacon. And we want to make sure during this session, you understand where your bacon comes from, what it is, and how to pick the best bacon for yourself. So we're going to go over what bacon is exactly. And I have a slide for you that is going to give some definitions and a little bit more. If you logged in last week, you know that value-added products are anything that we add value to. It's anything that we change, cut, add ingredients to, do something to add value to that product. Bacon falls in that category. It also tends to be a smoked, cured product that comes from, yes, number 4, the belly of the pig. When we first harvest that belly area, we call it fresh side. And if you have any questions at any point, please pop them over in the chat. So when it's not cured or anything like that, it's just fresh side. And it's just belly. It's fresh belly. Once we cure it, that's when we start talking about bacon. There's a lot of different types of bacon. There is streaky bacon, which is what we know here in America, that very normal, everyday bacon. There's also pancetta, which in other places, pancetta is cured but not smoked. And it's typically the belly and it's been rolled up into a round. Same thing, but it's not smoked. And then, of course, there is Canadian bacon. So Canadian bacon is actually not from the belly. So like we said, bacon comes from the cured belly of a swine animal. Canadian bacon actually comes from that yellow area on the pig known as the loin. That's why it's round, similar to a pork chop. That cut of a pork chop is the same as the cut of Canadian bacon. But Canadian bacon has had other things added to it and been through a process of curing and smoking to make it Canadian bacon. So what do we add to bacon to make it bacon? Well, I think everybody knows what's probably the biggest flavor that you know about bacon. Salt and smoke. So if we look at those bacon ingredients, we have salt and sugar as some of the first ones. And then from there, why do we have salt and sugar? Salt is known as a preservative. It's where bacon came from originally. Bacon has a lot of salt in it because salt is a preservative and an antimicrobial. So it's necessary for making bacon and helping it stay good longer, extending its shelf life. Sugar also has some antimicrobial properties in it, but really we use sugar to balance out the flavor. We want to balance out the flavor of that salt. And so the other thing that bacon has in it is known as nitrites. Nitrites are both a naturally and artificially occurring compound. So we can find it in nature. We can also create it. And it's very, very essential to the shelf life and antimicrobial properties of bacon. Specifically, it inhibits Clostridium botulinum and perfringens greatly. And so those are two major bacteria that can cause a lot of food poisoning. And by using nitrites, we are able to inhibit and control the production of those two things. From there, the last two that are on that list are sodium erythorbate, which is simply a cure accelerator. It allows us to, there's different types of curing. So in production, we can inject cure into a product. We can immerse in something, so we can soak it in a cure, or we can do a dry cure. And so all of those take different amount of times. Obviously, if we inject it, we get a faster time. And if we soak it, it takes a little bit longer. A cure accelerator, it makes that process happen faster so that we can shorten the time that it takes to cure and compounds create, and we can make that whole process a lot smoother and faster. So sodium erythorbate is often on the back of all ingredients of bacon. And then lastly, sodium phosphate. Sodium phosphate helps with, Lindsay says, yes, nitrites. Okay. Yeah, that's what we like to hear. And so that last one is sodium phosphate. Sodium phosphate is found in a lot of produced meat products, especially when they're processed. But even when they're not processed, you may find sodium phosphate even in different forms of chicken breast or other things because it helps us retain moisture. When we combine sodium phosphates with salt, we're able to increase water holding capacity and increase the moisture in that product. So, what questions do y'all have from here? Because from here, we've already talked about the types of bacon. We're going to bring those types of bacon back up one last time, and then we're going to start talking about how you can actually pick the best bacon for you. What do you see on the grocery store shelf? Again, we're getting a lot of people joining us. I want you to share this video, give us a like, and ask us all the questions you have. I have some set questions to go over today. We've already covered what bacon is as a value-added product that's cured and what ingredients are found in it. But from here, we're going to really talk about how do we pick the best bacon for your experience. So going back and looking again at traditional type bacon, it's the streaky bacon we all know. Canadian bacon comes from the loin. And then you start seeing things on the shelf that say things like uncured. Uncured versus cured bacon. So we already said USDA defines bacon as a cured belly of the swine carcass. So how is something uncured? And you'll notice I put that in quotes. Well, I put that in quotes for a reason. When you see an uncured, and I have a great helper, our healthy living specialist is with me today. So if I call out Claire's name to have her, she's helping me pull up different slides. So Claire, if you could go ahead and pull up the uncured pictures, specifically the ingredient label one. So when Claire gets that pulled up, you'll be able to see on the ingredients label of that uncured product, you should be able to see, and I keep moving my phone, sorry Instagram. Is there another picture that has the ingredient label? It's coming up?
It's coming up.
Perfect. There is a delay between some of our stuff, so bear with us. But when that picture comes up, you should be able to see, you can see right there, that I believe this one says celery powder. Do you see that ingredient, celery powder? So where you would see on other ingredient statements, it would say sodium nitrite. Uncured bacon does not have the artificial form of sodium nitrite added like traditional bacon. It has celery powder because most of the nitrite that we consume actually comes from vegetable sources. Celery being one of the highest containing nitrites. And so there's a conversion process in natural sources. It's actually nitrate. But as soon as that hits the enzymes of our saliva or other items are added in the process of making bacon, it converts to nitrite. It's a whole process, but always know that uncured bacon is still cured bacon. It is just cured from a natural form of celery powder. Now, I would not say that either one is better or worse than the next. It depends on what your priorities are. If your priority is that you're looking for a more natural source, but you still want to enjoy bacon, then uncured may be where you want to go. If you like traditional bacon as is, or maybe the price point is a little bit better for you, you'll want to go with that traditional bacon. And so, Claire, if we'll switch back to those types of bacon one last time, and we'll finish up talking about bacon. And of course, that last one on the list is the bacon that is not bacon, that is oh so popular, which is turkey bacon. Turkey bacon is not, by definition, real bacon, because as we said, what is it? Cured product from the belly of a swine carcass. So turkey bacon is actually made up of a formed product from mechanically separated chicken, or turkey, sorry. Mechanically separated chicken, or turkey, I keep saying chicken. Mechanically separated turkey is great for this product because when we use mechanically separated turkey, it means that we're able to use as much of the carcass as we possibly can. It allows us to take the little bits of meat off of the bone that can't be consumed in any other form, in ground or whole product, and it allows us to still utilize that. Turkey bacon is an outlet for that. It can have less fat and less cholesterol than traditional bacon, so sometimes people will gravitate towards it. It's still smoked, it's still cured. Is it as tasty as pork bacon? You let us know in the comments. What is your preference? Are you going to go for the turkey bacon or the regular bacon every time? Let's see those. And so we showed you the uncured bacon. The other thing about uncured bacon is that it's considered a natural product, which that's a whole conversation in its own. But typically those natural products and uncured products have a high price point, and they may not be exactly what you're looking for. Claire, if you will, you can close out that selecting bacon and pull up the traditional bacon picture and the center cut bacon picture. Does a fatter or skinnier pig make better bacon? That's a great question. So as Claire is pulling up the picture of our traditional bacon and our center cut bacon, I'm going to answer that question for Sophia. So, does a fatter or skinnier pig make better bacon? That is really going to depend on what kind of bacon you like. And so, a skinnier pig is going to have less fat within their bacon, which can mean a couple of things. It really depends on a lot of genetics and nutrition as to the quality of bacon. But you really want that in between. But the purpose of eating bacon is to eat something tasty, and it's gonna be a little fatty because of that. So a skinnier bacon is gonna have a firmer, smaller cut to it, whereas a fattier piece of bacon, it's gonna have a lot of fat on the outside, and you may have more loss and shrinkage to that, which is why we wanna find an in-between. So if you look at the picture there of the original black label versus the center cut, you'll see both of these on the grocery store shelf. Does anybody ever look for one type of bacon over the other? Like when you're shopping, what do you look at? Do you look at flavor? Do you look at just any bacon, whatever? You want the center cut? And you'll also notice the center cut says it's 30% less fat. Well, is it actually 30% less fat? How do you make a pig 30% less fat than the next pig, right? So what that actually means is you'll notice that the center cut bacon is a shorter piece of bacon. So what they've done is they've cut off the fatty ends of the bacon to make it a really pretty square. So you're actually getting less of the bacon itself. You may get an extra strip or something like that in one of those packages to make the 1 pound package. But all a center cut slice means is that it's the firmest part of the belly. And that, Sophia, is what makes high quality bacon. The firmer the bacon is, that's how we determine if it's high quality or not. And firmness of fat often is dependent upon the nutrition the animal is given, less so about the leanness or the fattiness. The fattiness of an animal is just going to determine how much fat it actually puts on the bacon. That's a wonderful question, though. And so there's your picture of your center cut slice and your traditional. Again, center cut slice is probably going to be a little bit more expensive. Why is that? Back to value added. We have cut off something and we've picked it out for you specifically. Therefore, we've added value to it and we've marketed it to have more value, so it's going to cost more. So if that's something you're looking for, just keep that in mind. So what do you look for once you actually get there? So we can take these pictures off and pull up the 2 evaluation pictures. So now I'm going to actually tell y'all how to pick your bacon. We've had some comments. Everybody likes their regular bacon. Kendall doesn't like bacon at all, so we're just not going to talk about that. So actually, Kendall, my sister also doesn't like bacon. I don't get it. Y'all are weird. We won't talk about it. But what we've actually learned with my sister is that it's probably not that you don't like bacon. Bacon is a fantastic product. But let me ask you this. Do you like ham? So my sister found out she also really doesn't like ham. And what we learned is she doesn't like cured products. It's the curing that she didn't like. Because if she has fresh bacon, or she has fresh side, just like a slab of fresh side, and she slices a slice off of that and cooks it, she loves it. She loves pork belly. She just doesn't really care for bacon. So you may actually just not like the cured product more than the bacon. Lindsay, thick cut, smoked, center cut, and a good amount of red and pink rather than white. There you go. That's what we're looking for. So how many of y'all actually turn your bacon around and look through the windows? Have you ever wondered why these are here? Even on a box, if you look at the bacon that comes in the box, if you turn it over, there'll be 2 flaps that you can pull down, and it allows you to view your bacon. How many of you actually view your bacon at the grocery store? Or you just pick up the package closest to you? If you do actually view your bacon, you'll see a comparison of 2 pictures right there. So we're going to call the package in the blue. The blue package is number 1, and the yellow package is number 2. Which package would you pick up in the store? Are you going to purchase package 1, the blue package, or package 2, the yellow package? Bonnie always looks at the windows. Good. You should always look at the windows. And here's why Bonnie is right. You should always look at the windows, because when you buy bacon, if you're buying a fattier piece of bacon, if that is your preference, then that's okay. But you need to know from a value standpoint, fattier bacon is going to have more shrinkage. So once you cook that bacon, if you're wanting to have a lot of bacon to eat, you're going to want bacon with more lean to it and less fat. So we've got some 1s, some 2s. Kendall is still going with he's not buying any bacon. He's getting 3, but mostly 1s. And if you picked that blue option, you're probably similar to what I would like. I would prefer that blue package because if you look at it, you have a very, very good ratio of lean, which is the pink portions of the bacon. So that's the actual muscle and the actual meat of the bacon versus the white portions. The white portions of the bacon is the fat. So if you do like fattier bacon, or you're buying bacon for seasoning purposes or something like that, maybe package 1 is something that you want to go with. But if you're just going to be cooking it up and eating it as a slice of bacon, I really suggest that 1, start looking at the windows of the bacon if you haven't been doing that before. And 2, I would go with those packages that have that good ratio of pink, red, lean meat to the white fat. Question: is organic bacon as free of antibiotics and preservatives as they claim, and is it better for us? Great question. So Is organic better for you? Well, let's start there. When we talk about health, everyone has a different definition of what health is. So, to me, organic pork belly and conventional pork belly nutritionally have the same calories, they have the same amount of fat and saturated fat and cholesterol. So, is it better from you from a health perspective? Maybe not, because it's identical in that. It's the same product. When it comes to the organic side of things, does it have less antibiotics and less preservatives? So, if it is marketed as antibiotic-free or never given any antibiotics, yes, there is a possibility that it has less antibiotics. But let me ask you this. Whenever you go to the doctor and you have to get antibiotics, it's sometimes expensive, right? Do you ever take antibiotics when you're not supposed to take antibiotics or you don't need them and the doctor hasn't required them? Well, we don't do that in the agriculture industry either because antibiotics are expensive. There are times where maybe we have to use a broad spectrum, but we're not going to do it unless it's absolutely required and a veterinarian has told us that it's necessary for that group of hogs. So there's a good chance that whether it's labeled antibiotic free or not, that the bacon you're eating from a conventional producer has never had any antibiotics in it. But without putting that label on it, we're able to say that we were able to treat this animal with antibiotics when it was needed. And when an animal is treated with antibiotics, there's a withdrawal period that is stated on the antibiotic, and we cannot harvest that animal until that withdrawal period has completed to make sure there's no antibiotic residue left in that meat. So there's the answer to that. And then on preservatives, just know salt can be organic and salt is a preservative. Same thing with sodium nitrite. Sodium nitrite is the chemical version, is the man-made version, but we talked about celery powder is a naturally occurring product that has sodium nitrite in it and can be used to cure. So if it's an organic product, they will probably, that is considered uncured, they'll just use an organic celery powder. So just keep in mind that whether or not you go with organic, it's really more of an ethical and choice decision on your own because they can be very comparable. But yes, there is a chance that the animal was given antibiotics in a conventional operation. That was a wonderful question. Would it be okay to eat bacon every day? Well, maybe I should let our healthy living expert talk about this. We were actually talking about this earlier today. So I'm going to let her jump around here, and she's going to tell you if we should be eating bacon every day.
Hey, y'all. Hey, I'm Claire Zach. I work with 4-H in the Healthy Living Program. So Crystal and I were talking about this earlier. So pretty much the big thing about bacon is that it's high in fat and it's high in salt. And that doesn't make it an evil food. I like to say that there are no bad foods. There are just foods that we should only eat sometimes. So I would probably, from a healthy living perspective, tell you to only eat it as a sometimes food. I really like it on Saturday mornings when you get to sleep in, you make some pancakes, you have some bacon. That's okay. It's okay to eat it sometimes, but every day it's probably going to be a little high in fat and a little high in salt for our everyday eating. But I'm not going to tell you that you can't eat it because I love bacon and I love to eat some bacon. So I'll come back soon, but that was a little pop-in for you.
Perfect. Absolutely right. Everything in moderation, right? Everything in moderation. Okay, so we've had great questions. Y'all now know how to pick out your bacon. You know which bacon fits you personally. And if you're wanting to eat that bacon every day, maybe you need to find some turkey bacon or some lower sodium bacon. Maybe you can get it in a little bit more through those formats because they're there. But let's talk about the thing that everybody is here for. Now, bacon is great on its own, and you don't have to do anything to it, nor should you. But if I'm going to show y'all how to put cheese and fruit and peppers into sausage a couple weeks ago, I'm definitely going to tell you how to spice up your bacon if you want to. So there is, Claire, there's a slide on Bacon Flight with the ingredients and a picture. So, the bacon flight. Has anybody ever heard of a bacon flight? Anyone? Anyone? Lindsay says just say no to turkey bacon. I mean, I can't blame her. We did play with some turkey bacon today, though. So, I'm known very well in the office as kind of the bougie foodie, and I wear that crown with pride. And so as I was looking into what we could do with bacon to spice it up a little bit, I did some research on bacon flights. So basically what a bacon flight is, it's taking additional flavors that you can actually bake on the bacon. So this would be a great thing that you could do if you were waking up on, like Claire, waking up on Saturday morning. She's going to put her bacon on a sheet tray and put it in the oven to bake while she's making her pancakes instead of typically frying. Kindle, softer crispy bacon is totally personal preference. No pros or cons. From me, I'm a crispy bacon kind of girl, but I don't like it burnt. I just like it crispy enough. And so, yes, so Bonnie's heard of a bacon flight. So we had a little fun with some bacon and we added some flavors. So if you want to do a bacon flight, like I said, it's one of the best things you can do to just wake up, fancy up your bacon, make it a little bougie, definitely unnecessary, but a little bit of fun and definitely a treat. It's not something you're going to want to do every time. So you preheat your oven to about 375, 400. On a sheet pan, put a rack and then place your bacon on top of it. If you don't have a rack, that's okay. I did not have a rack. I just used my sheet pan. It will get a little crispier, a little faster if you have a sheet pan. Pick out your favorite bacon. I actually picked out some very thick bacon and learned very quickly I would prefer regular thickness on bacon. The thicker the bacon, the longer it's going to take to crisp up. And we're going to be adding things that have additional sugar in them. So if that sugar crystallizes and caramelizes before your bacon is crispy, you're going to have some issues. Kendall, Brittany says soft bacon all the way. And so take out your bacon, put it on your bacon sheet, and then come up with the flavors you want. Here are the ones that we played with. We couldn't do bacon flights without a chocolate dip bacon. Probably the easiest of the bunch, and honestly, probably one of my favorites. I hadn't had chocolate dip bacon until I did this, and I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty delicious, but I don't know that I need to pay $5 a strip for it at the local fairs. So we did chocolate dipped, peach pie flavored. So what was that and how do we make some of these? Basically, you're gonna need some sort of sugar for the sweeter ones. Brown sugar works the best, I find. And all I did was take some brown sugar. On that one, I did brown sugar. And I chopped up frozen peaches with my mini chopper. I just took frozen peaches in here, along with some pecans and brown sugar, chopped it all up. And then when you top your bacon, you just put a tablespoon or two on it. You don't want it too thick. This is not one of those places more is better. This is a place where you want it just covering it. So that's the peach pie one. You can add seasonings as you please if you want to do cinnamon, nutmeg, cardamom even if you're one of those really fancy people. Praline has probably been my favorite bacon flight flavor. Claire gave me this suggestion. That one's also the simplest. Equal parts brown sugar to chopped pecans. Then I wanted to have a little fun with some flavors. Peaches and blueberries are both in season and coming into season in Louisiana around this time of year. So with the blueberry, we just did some blueberry puree, and we soaked the bacon in it for a few hours. So if you were doing this on a weekend, make your blueberry puree, soak your bacon in it the night before, wake up, put it in the oven. Here's the thing about the blueberry one. It makes it like black. So it's not super appealing, I wouldn't say at all. So this one didn't turn out to be my favorite. The coffee glazed one was great. I found the way I liked that best was mixing strong brewed coffee with brown sugar to a paste and putting it on. So there you can see pictures of the raw ones. And then lastly, also one I was very surprised at was an herby bacon. So I took rosemary, thyme, and garlic salt and mixed it in with the brown sugar at flavor ratios that matched me. If you like a lot of herbs, put more. If you like other herbs, change it up. This is not meant to be exact recipes because this is where you get to have fun in the kitchen. So we have the herby, the praline, the peach pie, the coffee glaze, the chocolate dip are all the ones that I think turned out best. Now, I did also try turkey bacon, people. I tried it. It looks like leather. This one is a teriyaki glazed one. It's not great. It's too salty. It's like a salt lick. But the one that did turn out pretty good, I did a Parmesan one. So I just put Parmesan cheese on turkey bacon and baked it. All of this should take about 25 to 30 minutes in the oven. Perfect amount of time for you to create the rest of your breakfast. And I'm gonna let Claire give you her honest opinions on all of these things. So of the ones that we made, which ones are you most interested in making? What flavors are your favorite ideas?
All right, and I gotta say, to speak to the turkey bacon, really, if you're gonna eat bacon, just eat bacon. There's a lot of dietitians that'll tell you that really and truly, there's not a huge fat difference, and you're still getting some salt there. So if the flavor is so different, just go ahead and try some bacon. Have some regular bacon. But now I'm gonna try it, and the one that I just talked about turkey bacon, so let me go ahead and try the Parmesan one. I'm gonna try that real quick. Oh, that's good.
It's good, right?
Yeah, okay, that one's good. And I don't feel like I'm sad that I'm not eating regular bacon.
Yeah, the cheese changes things, people. We know that.
Well, and really you added fat to it. So again, same thing. All right, what are we trying next?
So let's do the herby one.
Oh, yeah. Very
so remember, the herby one was just rosemary, thyme, garlic with brown sugar. It's so good, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a little savory, a little sweet.
Savory, sweet. Rosemary. I like the rosemary in it.
Very cool to add to your breakfast for sure.
Mm-hmm. Y'all should try this one.
Okay, this one I'm a little iffy on. Try that piece. This one you might be a bigger fan of. This is the coffee glazed one.
I like coffee. Oh, that's good.
It's good. It's bitter.
Yeah, it's got a almost burnt flavor to it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But in like the best way possible.
Yeah, so good.
Peach pie. Kendall still says no.
Okay, Crystal. Praline.
Oh. So if y'all didn't know, I'm not from Louisiana.
I am.
Whoops. So speaking of praline, maybe we should go ahead and give that praline a taste.
All right, I'm trying this big.
That's peach pie.
Oh, that's peach pie.
This one's praline.
This is praline.
And this has been my favorite.
Okay.
There's something about nuts on bacon.
This one's not too sweet.
Mm-mm.
I thought it would be sweeter. This is good with the pecans. This is very good. Everybody's waving. Hey,
Everybody's waving.
Hey,
So let's try the peach pie one. I've been pleasantly surprised by this one.
Okay. I'm taking a big piece.
Yeah, take a good big piece.
Yeah, let's split that one. There we go.
Oh, the topping comes off a little bit on that one. You kind of get it, right?
It's kind of nutty, and then it's got that good, like a hint of peach. Oh, that's good.
It's good.
And
you can try this with any flavors. Pork and apple makes sense. So if you did something with applesauce, that'd be a great one. Our last one to try is the chocolate dip. It's surprisingly good.
I've been so excited about this one. We saved this for last for a reason.
I need the praline one.
Quote of the day is cheese changes things, people. That's true.
It does.
Holy cow.
And just so you know, we just used regular Hershey's on this one. Dark chocolate makes it even better. But it's so simple, and it's such a fun thing to do. I will honestly say for me, my favorites of the day are the chocolate, I really like the peach, but the praline still wins, and the herby one are mine. What's your favorite?
I would say chocolate and the herby, and then I'm going to throw in the cheese.
Okay.
I'm going to throw in the cheese.
I made turkey bacon good, people.
Yep.
If that's not a reason to try a bacon flight, what else is?
It's perfect.
So if y'all have any other baking questions, we have a Meet on Monday event that you can go and just say you're going to, and you can post your questions in there, and I'd love to follow up with any questions. Think chocolate and praline.
Oh.
Well,
yeah, you could just mix it. I like that idea.
There you go.
I did wonder, like, white chocolate.
White chocolate could be different. Okay, here you go, Miss Bonnie. We're gonna try that chocolate and praline.
Oh yeah.
I mean, can you go wrong? Now you have a nutty dip to your chocolate.
That's perfect. Almonds, that'd be good.
I'm down with some dark chocolate. Oh, Kendall's on the baking train. He's getting there.
How will we do it? So, if you watch the first part of this live, we'll post the video again. Essentially, you just put it on a sheet tray, bake it in the oven. How would you bake yours? 400 degrees?
375 to 400.
375. Okay.
I did 375 because I had thick bacon and it was gonna cook. It's gonna need to crisp longer, and I didn't want to burn my sugar too much. So, like I said, I would use regular bacon, but 375 to 400.
That's a good idea to lower your heat when you have sugar too.
Yeah. And then it took about, to get to the crispness that I liked it took about 25 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Do you need to flip your bacon at all?
I did not. So this format, by making your mixtures, by just mixing up a mixture and pouring it on your bacon, it makes it where you don't have to flip it. You can just simply put it in the oven and let it go.
And Brian sees a food truck idea, and I think he's onto something.
I'm down.
Yeah. Give us some
Flaps,
names. Give
we're
us some
in.
names.
Okay, well, thank y'all so much for joining. This has been such a fun Facebook Live. Again, Meet on Mondays is going to become a monthly event for us with Louisiana 4-H, and we would love to have y'all join. But here's the thing. We want to make these what you want to hear about. So shoot some comments about ideas or meat-based things that you'd like to hear about, whether it's beef cuts. We've had some suggestions of boudin. I'm not Louisiana Cajun, but I do know how to make boudin, and I will definitely bring in a guest who knows even more than I do. Tag people in these videos if you think they'd like to have fun and hang along, join us along this path, and we'll keep doing Meet on Mondays as long as you keep enjoying them. Thank you so much. Have a great Monday.
Thank you.